What's going on, guys? Midwest Tokusatsu here with a review for the Lightning Collection in Space Yellow Ranger. So you know the drill by now. We'll look at the box art first and foremost, take a look at the figure herself, the accessories, and judge the civilian head. So let's go. So starting off, you got some nice artwork on the front here of In Space Yellow. Continuing to the side. On the back you have what I believe is a 3D rendering of the figure, because her helmet looks a bit different here than it does on the actual figure. It's like the visor or something is like a bit elongated or wider. This looks a bit funny. More artwork on the side. Nothing on top, and on the bottom, legal mumbo jumbo. So here we have In Space Yellow out of box, and I've got to say, just by looking at her in general, they pretty much nailed her look here. Now, that's not to say that the In Space suits are pretty simplistic anyway, but me, I love the In Space suits. So it's kind of hard to mess up, but at the same time, I'm glad that they actually got it right almost perfectly. So as for everything she comes with, you get your weapon, her Star Slinger, I believe, an effects piece for it, her Astro Blaster, which we would just put in her holster right now. Oops. Kind of a tight fit, but it's fine. An extra pair of hands. And a civilian head, which I have a couple of things to say about when we get to her. So as for articulation, it's pretty much the standard. Have a joint in the foot. You can swivel. Boot cuff moves. Knee joint. Upper calf. And regardless of the skirt, she still has a pretty nice range of motion. Okay, let's set her foot back straight there. Okay. Looked kind of weird for a second. Hand swivel. Elbow joint. And swivel. Butterfly joint shoulders. Ab crunch. And your ball jointed head. So now before I get to accessories, one nitpick I do have is the shade of painting on her collar here. Because in the show, this is more so like a glossy yellow as opposed to the gold they have here. It's not that big of a deal, but it is a slight inaccuracy. But definitely not a deal breaker though. And now getting into some poses, here she is with her Astro Blaster. And here's her Star Slinger. Effects piece added on. The extra hands. And then the Ashley civilian head. And if I'm being honest, it's one of the weaker ones. Because just like with Kimberly, they give the girls like this really creepy smile for some reason. And it just looks weird. Plus, it doesn't resemble Tracy Lynn Cruz all that much. And it's kind of insulting. But it's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not going to pose her with the head anyway. So, it's whatever. Okay, so before we head out, this is actually one of the rare occasions where I have a previous version of the figure to compare her to. And right here, I have the Legacy version of In Space Yellow. As you can see, I can't even get her in shot, barely. Well, kind of. But as you can see, she's a smidge taller, and the shade of yellow is a bit brighter as well. But I think between the two, I kind of prefer the Lightning version because the proportions are a bit more realistic, and she's not as busty as Legacy over here. This is totally not ad-friendly, but whatever. So In Space Yellow here is another solid addition to the Lightning collection. Apart from the paint choice on the collar and the less than desirable civilian head, she's honestly a good looking figure. So that's going to just about do it. So as always, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to like my Facebook page at Midwest Tokusatsu. We are also on Twitter and Instagram. And this is Midwest Tokusatsu, signing out.